Hello there. So, when working with Datastar, people often ask, but what is better, data or star? Should I buy data or should I buy stars? Don't worry, you can check the market in real time with my new app called Stonks. You can see that we have the price of stars that is monitored in real time with the yellow line. We have the blue line, which is the price of data, and we have a nice ring visualization to see both of them. So it's just a joke app because I wanted to show to work with SVG from the backend, but this could be real financial data if that's your thing. Absolutely no problem. The left one is pure SVG, so we're going to see how to update and build them, and the right one is a third-party library, and I will show you later how to do it. So let's see, and for this time we are going to start with the HTML. We are going to use Datastar, obviously. We are going to use ECharts afterwards for the other library, and we start with the body. First thing that is important here is the SVG, which I call defs for definitions, which when loaded will call the definitions that we want. So what are definitions? This SVG def will be hidden, like it won't be displayed. But what I want to do is be able to use some stuff, some definitions, for example the paths of lines in other SVGs, and I don't want to have to search always where they are, so I keep all the changing definitions in a SVG at the start of the document. And then we can see how I constructed the SVG. So first, a background, which is a rectangle covering the space, so 100 by 100. This is quite a helpful trick when you're working with SVG, because we are going to draw a lot of stuff. What you can do is put viewbox to 0, 0, 100, 100, preserve aspect ratio equals to none, and this way you have like a grid that you can map in your head, and the SVG will then scale to the available space if you tell it to. For example, you just add, you see in the CSS with an height to 100%, and I say don't display the definition SVG. So I put my black background, I put some transparent lines to represent time. So these are these lines there. And you see that the order in which you put things in SVG does matter. The latest stuff that you add will be displayed on top. So like layers, if you want. So yeah, transparent lines for time. Then we have white lines, kind of white gray blue lines here. So these are just when you want to make a line, it's a rectangle of width 1 or of height 1. 2 here because we are hiding it a bit and using a radius on the rectangle. So I can zoom in, see we can have this nice effect like this of rounded rectangles if you want to make some lines. Then we add the scales, so euros and time, and then we are going just to add the path this way. So we say, okay, then use the element that we are going to call with an ID called left, because it it's the first SVG in the left panel. So where will this definition left be? Of course, I'm going to put it in the def SVG. So how do we change the definition SVG? We call this route onload, this data onload. This route is called def, and we are going to now how to create the moving parts, so the blue line and the yellow line. Je parle comme ça. Now, how do we create the moving parts, so the blue line and the yellow line? I have a helper function for this, which is called makePath, and it's actually really easy. How do we make the line? For every point that we have, so for every stonk here, so stonks are just a list of points, as you can see here. We say move to that point, and because we define the viewbox as 0, 0, 100, 100, we have our coordinate system, and we can say this point, for example, 90 euros goes at and the fourth one, it's 40 position 90. Alors ça veut rien dire. Alright, let's move to the application to see how we generate the moving points. So we want to be able to stream some data. We first have to create this data for this demo, so let me show you. I created the blue line and yellow line. Really easy. I just populate a list of values between 0 and 90. I put a refresh rate. What I do is that on every tick of the refresh rate, I add a new value to it, and I discard the previous one. So I trade some functions like pure randomness or other stuff, but I mean this one produce these results which are kind of nice to follow. And so every half second we are going to have a new value for this array of data and star prices. How do we create an SVG pass for this? SVG pass is just a string, so really easy. Just say that you start at some point with move to, and then draw lines from point to point with L, X position, Y position. Because we define our viewbox as 0, 0, 100, 100, we can put stuff really precisely. For example, value of 90 euros will have a Y position of 10, because the coordinate system starts from the top, and this way we have a path of points that corresponds to the value of the array at any time. There's also other stuff that we need to add in the changing. So for example, is the price, the indication, should I buy data or should I buy stars? Very easy to add that because we have the position of everything. It is a 100-100 coordinate system. Just add the circle where you want it. Change the text data if you want it. You're doing this from the server, so yeah, really easy stuff to do. We add an Easter egg here, And then let's see the HTML that we send. So we want to merge fragment, to use merge fragment to change the SVG containing the definition. So let me show you how you write that. You first start with, of course, the SVG and the ID, so Datastar knows how to merge it. Then you start with a defs block, and then you're going to use the G element a lot, because remember from the last video, it's like divs. It's a global object to encapsulate stuff inside, so parent-children relation. And we are going to call this one left. And if you remember, this is what we specified at the end of the SVG. I want to use whatever is called left in the SVG context, space, whatever you want. So this is going to be this G element, so everything that is inside this will be appended right there. So you can append a lot of stuff, just use these links to do it. What we are going to do is, of course, put the path that we computed. Don't forget to use vector effect equals non-scaling stroke if you want to resize your SVG afterwards and you don't want path line to move too much. Because this is real time, I will try to show you if I disable it and if I put some more stroke width. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, because it's scaled from a square to a square, so it's not... The idea of non-scaling stroke is if you scale from a square to like a really big rectangle, it's gonna get deformed one way or another, but just know that it's here and try it. I put that back to 2. Thank you. You see that I am using G elements like divs, so I want this to be inheritable because I don't want to specify the stroke width for my 2 paths. So I put them in a G element, simple as that. And then I can put my first path here. So I just put path because my server is writing the HTML. I can just output text in the object, and I want this one to be yellow. I add a circle at the end to have this nice shiny effect. I add the other path, I add another circle, I add the advice, and I add the price as text. And that's all there is to it. So this function generates the correct HTML, and then we just have to call morph on the actual root. So the actual root, if you remember, was defs, and this is what we are going to do in def. We are going to send a generator that will wait for the definition changes in the SVG and merge these fragments. The rest of the video is going to be really fast because you're going to say, but I want to use a third-party library. They are way nicer. And yes, this SVG on the right is from Apache ECharts, which is open source, so it's good. And it's really, really good. You can go to the example page and you see all the nice stuff that you can do with it. It will take you a long time and SVG mastery if you want to come close to this Iron Man level of visualization. So I understand that you want to use your third-party library. Well, let's take an example. So you recognize the gauge ring that I used here. And just take a look, you see that all the data in the gauge ring, I change here, it changes here. It's in the form of, I'm not sure if it's JSON, but it's JavaScript, and you have some functions to change it. You see here. So anyway, using third-party JavaScript with Datastar is really easy. We've got access to execute script, and there won't be any problem for that. So let me show you. On my open connection, which is opened by the SVG devs, after I have sent the HTML on the left panel, I am going to call another function called get ECharts data, which is just going to format the price I want for the last two value of prices into the good format. I will show it to you later, but then just try to see the big picture. We called execute script, my chart, the set option, and in the series we put our new series, like we put our new data. For the specifics, or I used ECharts, you can always consult the code in the description, but this is how I did it. I import from a CDN, so they have a minified package, and then I just add a slap script tag at the end. I say, okay, you target the div called right panel that I have prepared for you, right there. You put some data, you put some options, you call my chart.set option, and you're set. And that's all there is to it. ECharts is quite easy to use, so don't hesitate. Let me check if there are some nice CSS tricks. Yeah, the first good point about SVG, and I'm going to talk a bit about the differences between one approach and the other, is that you can style them with CSS, obviously. This is how I added the glowing effect. So being able to know that you can target the stuff of your SVG or of your library will always be good. You can use it to style the text differently on SVG. This is the text element of SVG. And the second thing is that I had to put a refresh rate, and there was none initially, because you see that if we lower that, the ECharts function starts to lag a bit, and I am not sure if maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm not an expert in ECharts, but you see I had some refresh rate and it's not moving entirely. And the worst thing is that it's actually clogging the page, and just for fun we are going to disable the JavaScript part. So we stop feeding data to our chart and we reload, and you can see the speed that you can obtain with pure SVG updates and Datastar. It's going to be unmatched. So maybe doing stuff, trying to get low level and see what you want to change just with SVG can be good for you. I hope you like this video and you learn stuff or two about SVGs. Don't hesitate if you have any questions in the comment, and see you next time for our next video.